Good morning.
Hey!
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Hello, there's people in here.
Oh, shit. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Welcome. Thank you. Yes, please share.
Yep.
Hey, Nadine.
Hi, Nadine.
Hey, Calvin.
Hey, Calvin. How's the voodoo curse treating you?
How's that voodoo curse treating you guys today? We got some fun answers afterwards, too. I think I'm going to make this a regular thing. I'll just put out a poll and ask people, like, how that voodoo curse is treating you today. And I love these answers.
Oh. Yay.
All right. So let me do something real fast because I just realized we have the wrong names up here.
Oh, no.
Whoops. I don't know who those other people are, but we're taking over for them right now. All right. Hello, Maurice.
Hello.
How are you? And what's
Hey, Jeff.
up? What's up? All right. So let's get back into this.
Where do we leave off at?
We left off at Lupo and Placido. So this was a different shooting. So we had read the letter. I don't know if you guys want me to read that again.
No, we don't need to read it again. That was that took a little bit last time.
Well, it was different because we stopped with the first letter being something like crudely written.
But it was like this, like he had this like that flow of thought that schizophrenics go into, where they just like start rambling.
No,
on
I'm not talking about that one.
Oh, I was just saying about the letter right
I'm
here.
talking about the crudely written one.
Oh, okay.
Where
yeah, that was at the end of this one. But this was just a piece of it. Did we find that out? Or
no, this is the first one.
Oh, okay.
This is the first one where it was crudely written, and yes, it was totally having like the weird kind of like thought processes. But then there was a second one sent to the newspaper guy, the journalist. That's the word. The journalist,
the person who writes the newspapers.
And it was it was eloquent. And it just didn't seem to match up, you know?
Or he was doing something to throw people off.
Well, that's exactly what was going on.
He was Kaiser Sose in him, or whatever.
Totally Kaiser Soze'd them. So, nice. Got some snow. Lucky. We don't got any snow.
No, yeah, we don't get it here.
There might still be snow for his birthday when we go on vacay, but, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we stopped with talking about how there was a panic. He caused a panic, and
it was almost like New York was under siege.
Well, women were cutting their hair because he was going after women with long brown hair. They were coloring their hair either bright colors or just a color that wasn't a brunette. And then beauty supply stores were having trouble meeting demand for the wigs people wanted to buy. So, like, it really was keeping them hostage, holding them hostage. And so, let's get into the next shooting. On June 26, 1977, there was another shooting. Sal Lupo, a mechanics helper, 20, and Judy Placido, a recent high school graduate. She was 17. They had left the Elephas discotheque in Bayside, Queens, and were sitting in Lupo's parked car at about 3 a.m. when 3 gunshots blasted through the vehicle. Lupo was wounded in the right forearm, and Placido was shot right in the temple. In the right temple, the shoulder, and the back of the neck. Both victims survived their injuries. God, it's that damn voodoo curse, huh? Fuck. Curse of the yup.
Suffering succotash.
At least I have all my teeth. So Lupo told police that the young couple had been discussing the Son of Sam case only moments before the shooting. Neither Lupo nor Placido had seen their attacker, but 2 witnesses reported a tall, dark-haired man in a leisure suit fleeing from the area. One claimed to see him leave in a car and even supplied a partial license plate number. So now we're getting into that anniversary of the first shooting. The first anniversary of the initial 44 caliber shootings was approaching, and the police established a sizable dragnet that emphasized past hunting grounds in Queens and the Bronx. However, the next and final shooting occurred in Brooklyn. Early on July 31st, 1977, Stacy Moskowitz, a secretary, and Robert Violante, a clothing store salesman, both 20, were in Violante's car, which was parked under a streetlight near a city park in the neighborhood of Bath Beach on their first date. They were kissing when a man approached within like 3 feet of them, of the passenger side of Violante's car, and fired 4 rounds into the car, striking both victims in the head before he escaped into the park. A man named Tony Zeno was a witness to the shooting. Violante lost his left eye. Moskowitz, the only blonde victim, died of her injuries. That night, Detective John Falatico was awakened at home and told to report to the 10th Homicide Division at the 60th Precinct Station House in Coney Island. He was given 2 weeks to work on the Moskowitz-Violante case as a normal murder investigation. If it could not be solved in that time frame, then it was being given to the Son of Sam task force. So here we go. Suspicion and capture. So local resident, I'm going to assume that says Cecilia Davis.
Where's it at?
It's spelled weird, but Cecilia Davis was walking her dog at the scene of the Moskowitz-Violante shooting when she saw patrol officer Michael Cantanillo ticketing a car that was parked near the fire hydrant. Moments after the traffic police left, a young man walked past her from the area of the car and seemed to study her with some interest. And she felt pretty uneasy because of this. He was pretty wielding. He had some kind of dark object in his hand. She ran back to her home only to hear some shots fired behind her into the street. Davis remained silent about this experience for 4 days until she finally contacted the police, who closely checked every car that had been ticketed in that area that night. Berkowitz's 1974 door yellow Ford Galaxy was among the cars that they had investigated. On August 9th, 1977, NYPD detective James Justice telephoned Yonkers police to ask them to schedule an interview with Berkowitz. The Yonkers police dispatcher who first took Justice's call was Wheat Carr, the daughter of Sam Carr and sister of Berkowitz's alleged cult confederates, John and Michael Carr. Interesting name. Huh.
Natalie!
What's up, Natalie?
Hello.
Hey. Oh, getting a storm. Nice.
Oh.
I
We
like
just had some rain
storms
last night.
It was like
Wasn't
a
that much.
sprinkle.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? Excuse me.
Haha.
All right. So Justice asked, the Yonkers police for some help tracking down Berkowitz. According to Mike Novotny, a sergeant at the Yonkers Police Department, the Yonkers police had their own suspicions about Berkowitz in connections with other strange crimes in Yonkers. Crimes that they saw referred to in one of the Son of Sam letters. Yonkers investigators even told the New York City detective that Berkowitz might actually be the son of Sam. So, the next day, August 10th, 1977, police investigated Berkowitz's car that was parked on the street outside of his apartment building on 35 Pine Street in Yonkers. They saw a gun in the back seat and searched the car and found a duffel bag filled with ammunition, maps of the crime scenes, and a threatening letter addressed to Inspector Timothy Dowd of the Omega Task Force. He couldn't have
this was
incriminated himself more if he tried. So police decided to wait for Berkowitz to leave the apartment rather than risk a violent encounter in the building's narrow hallway. They also waited to obtain a search warrant for the apartment, worried that their search might be challenged in court. The initial search of the vehicle was based on the handgun that was visible in the back seat, although possession of such a gun was legal in New York State and required no special permit. The warrant still had not arrived when Berkowitz exited the apartment building around 10 p.m. and entered his car. Detective John Falatico approached the driver's side of the car and pointed his gun close to Berkowitz's temple, while Detective Sergeant William Gardella pointed his gun from the passenger side. A paper bag containing a .44 caliber bulldog revolver of the type that was identified in ballistics tests was found next to Berkowitz in the car. Berkowitz then stated flatly, "Well, you got me." As described in Son of Sam, a book by Lawrence D. Klausner. Detective Falatico remembered the big, inexplicable smile on his face. Hey, Dustin! I caught you live for a second today. Sorry I couldn't stay any longer, though.
Yay!
I feel you there. So, now that I've got you, Detective Falatico said to the suspect, "Who have I got?" "You know," the man said, and what the detective remembered was a soft and almost sweet voice. "No, I don't. You tell me." The man turned his head and said, "I'm Sam." "You're Sam? Sam who?" "Sam. David Berkowitz." An alternate version claimed that Berkowitz's first words were reported to be, "Well, you got me. How come it took you so long?" Detective John Falatico was officially credited by the NYPD as the arresting officer of the Son of Sam. Police searched apartment 7E and found it in disarray with satanic graffiti on the walls. They also found diaries that he had kept since he was 21 years old, 3 stenographers' notebooks, nearly all full, wherein Berkowitz meticulously noted hundreds of arsons that he claimed to have set throughout New York City. Some sources speculate that this number may have actually been over 1,400.
Wow.
Soon after Berkowitz's arrest, the address of the building was changed from 35 Pine Street to 42 Pine Street in an attempt to end its notoriety. After the arrest, Berkowitz was briefly held in a Yonkers police station before being transported directly to 60th Precinct in Coney Island, where the detectives' task force was located. At about 1 a.m., Mayor Abraham Beam arrived to see the suspect personally. After a brief, wordless encounter, he announced to the media, "The people of the city of New York can rest easy because of the fact that the police have captured the man whom they believe to be the son of Sam.
It just happened so fast too.
Yeah.
Like everything was seeming like it was just all like luck and everything.
Oh, definitely. We're doing great. How are you doing?
Doing great, just a little tired.
Yeah, I'm a little tired. So, Berkowitz, on August 11th, Berkowitz was interrogated for about 30 minutes. In early morning of August 11th, 1977, he quickly confessed to the shootings and expressed an interest in pleading guilty. The investigation was led by John Keenan, who took the confession. During questioning, Berkowitz claimed that his neighbor's dog was one of the reasons that he killed, stating that the dog demanded the blood of pretty young girls.
Wow.
He said that the Sam that's mentioned in the letters was his former neighbor, Sam Carr. Berkowitz claimed that Harvey, Carr's black lab, was possessed by an ancient demon and that it issued irresistible commands that Berkowitz must kill people. A few weeks after his arrest and confession, Berkowitz was permitted to communicate with the press. In a letter to the New York Post dated September 19th, 1977, Berkowitz alluded to his original story of demonic possession, but closed with a warning that has been interpreted by some investigators as an admission of criminal accomplices. There are other sons out there. God help the world. At a press conference,
I could imagine though with how much he put the city in fear. It probably made him think even more. Like we better take that even more a little serious here, you know.
Oh yeah. So at a press conference in February of '79, however, Berkowitz declared that his previous claims of demonic possession were a hoax.
Mm-hmm.
Berkowitz stated in a series of meetings with his special court-appointed psychiatrist, David Abrahamson, that he long contemplated murder to get revenge on the world that he had felt rejected and hurt him.
Yeah. He also got off on it too.
Yeah, he loved it.
He actually said I think a couple times he was able to climax while killing. So,
oops.
Whatever.
All right. So, 3 separate mental health examinations determined that Berkowitz was competent to stand trial. Despite this, defense lawyers advised Berkowitz to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. But Berkowitz refused. He appeared calm in court on May 8, 1978, as he pled guilty to all of the shootings. At his sentencing 2 weeks later, Berkowitz caused an uproar when he attempted to jump out of a window of the 7th floor courtroom. After he was restrained, he repeatedly chanted, "Stacy was a whore," which was his last victim.
Wow.
And shouted, "I'd kill her again. I'd kill them all again." The court ordered another psychiatric examination before sentencing could proceed. During the evaluation, Berkowitz drew a sketch of a jailed man surrounded by numerous walls. At the bottom, he wrote, "I am not well. I am not well at all." Nonetheless, Berkowitz was again found competent to stand trial. And on June 12, 1978, he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for each murder to be served consecutively. He was ordered to serve time in Attica Correctional Facility, an upstate New York supermax prison. Despite prosecutors' objections, the terms of Berkowitz's guilty plea made him eligible for parole in 25 years.
Wow.
After his arrest, Berkowitz was initially confined to a psychiatric ward in Kings County Hospital, where the staff reported that he seemed remarkably troubled by his new environment. On the day after his sentencing, he was taken first to Sing Sing prison and then to the upstate Clinton Correctional Facility for psychiatric and physical examinations.
We're gonna get Clinton.
Crap. What?
What?
Yeah, you heard that right. the Clinton Correctional Facility for psychiatric and physical examinations. 2 more months were spent at the Central New York Psychiatric Center in Marcy before his admission to Attica. Berkowitz served about a decade in Attica until he was relocated in 1990 to Sullivan Correctional Facility in Fallsburg, where he remained for many years until he was transferred to Shawakunk?
I guess so, yeah.
Shawakunk?
Yep.
Sure. Hey, Angie.
Hey, Angie.
Where you go to suicide yourself. Yeah. Well, sure sounds like it. I got an itch. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's what I'm missing. My nose ring today.
Uh-oh. I don't know where it's at.
Anyhow, when I got a break, I'll put my nose ring back in. So, Berkowitz, so he was transferred to Shawakunk Correctional Facility in Ulster County. Berkowitz described life in Attica as a nightmare. Well, that's literally what you deserve, man.
Exactly.
You deserve to live nothing but a nightmare. But whatever. In 1979, there was an attempt on Berkowitz's life in which the left side of his neck was slashed from front to back, resulting in a wound that required more than 50 stitches to close. Berkowitz refused to identify his assailant, and he claimed only that he was grateful for the attack. It brought a sense of justice, or in Berkowitz's word, the punishment I deserve. Whoa.
What?
So, Nadine said, here's a little fun fact. When my father worked at Sing Sing, he guarded Son of Sam's girlfriend, or his bitch.
Oh,
Wow. Prison is not designed to be a happy, fun time. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but then you get like the Edmund Kempers who thrive in prison. Like,
yeah.
That's it.
Waiting to hear for some stories.
Yeah.
Well, if you go visit Liz's page, there's definitely a few up. Some great stories. They're great for like stories sitting around the campfire and just, kicking back.
In the Black Forest or something like that, or
go hang out in the Black Forest,
eat some ham.
Eat some of that Black Forest ham. Watch out, don't set things on fire.
Yep.
You know what, guys? We're gonna go to a quick break. And we will be right back, okay? We'll be back.
This is Mikey from Out of the Ordinary, and you're watching PBDC TV.
First thing in the morning, when I'm listening to music and getting a little bit of time for some creepy research, I'm always representing with my PBDC merch. What a better way to have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Don't forget to check out our other cool merch at rootsbleedred.com. That's rootsbleedred.com.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
Let's see. Hold on. Now story time is happy fun time. Yes, it is. And man, Liz is coming up with like these great stories from memory because they're fucking real. It really fucking happened. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go read some stuff after the live feed.
Yay!
Yes. I'm doing good. Oh, huh. Depends on the person you go to. It also depends if you tend to like, the butt sexies.
Yeah.
Okay, I just asked my dad, and he said Son of Sam's girlfriend had met him at Clinton, and then was transferred to Sing Sing. Oh, really? Those. I'm not going to say it. Anywho. So, in 1987, Berkowitz became an evangelical Christian in prison. According to his personal testimony, his moment of conversion occurred after reading Psalm 34.
Psalm 69.
No, Psalm 34, verse 6, from the Bible given to him by a fellow inmate. He says he is no longer to be referred to as Son of Sam, but as the Son of Hope.
What the fuck?
And by no means am I making fun of any religion. I'm making fun of this
I'm
ass
making fun
hat.
of him.
I mean,
seriously.
I'm sorry. You commit all these horrible, heinous crimes, and now you're like, oh, I'm healed. I am healed.
I'll recant on my deathbed.
And let's just keep part of my name from when I was an evil murderer.
Yeah.
I'm going to be called the Son of Hope instead of the Son of Sam. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way, bro. And damn it, I forgot the other nickname already. The Chubby Behemoth.
Oh, yeah.
The Chubby Behemoth is still better. It's way better.
Oh, it is way better.
I don't know why nobody went with the Chubby Behemoth. So soon after his imprisonment, Berkowitz invited Malachi Martin, an exorcist, to help him compose an autobiography. But the offer was not accepted. During later years, Berkowitz developed his memoirs with the assistance from evangelicals. His statements were released as an interview video, Son of Hope, in 1998, with more extensive work released in book form entitled Son of Hope, The Prison Journals of David Berkowitz. And this was released in 2006. So Berkowitz does not receive any royalties or profit from any sales of his work. He has continued to write essays on faith and repentance for evangelical websites. A website is maintained on his behalf by a church group since he is not allowed to access a computer. Berkowitz stays involved with prison ministry and regularly counsels troubled inmates. While in the Sullivan facility, he pursued education and graduated with honors from Sullivan Community College. I don't know about you, but this all sounds like him trying to get out on parole.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
He's even if he gets out now, he's way too old to do anything.
Still, I don't think he deserves to ever get out.
Oh no, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
Death penalty should have happened. I'm sorry. Especially for somebody who was like, yeah, I did it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did it. And by the way, that one bitch was a whore. Like, yeah, you should die, bro.
Exactly.
So, Berkowitz is entitled to a parole hearing every 2 years as mandated by state law, though he has consistently, refused to ask for his release.
We were wrong.
Sometimes skipping the hearings altogether. Before his first parole hearing in 2002, Berkowitz sent a letter to the New York governor, George Pataki, demanding that it be canceled. He wrote, "In all honesty, I believe that I deserve to be in prison for the rest of my life. I have, with God's help, long ago come to terms with my situation, and I have accepted my punishment." Officials at the Sullivan facility rejected his demand and made him go through with the parole hearing. In his 2016 hearing at Shawwankunk, New York, Berkowitz stated that while parole was unrealistic, he felt he had improved himself behind bars, adding, "I feel I am no risk whatsoever." See, I still feel like...
No, you're trying to trick us, buddy.
Yeah, see? His lawyer, Mark Heller, noted that prison staff considered Berkowitz to be a model prisoner. Yes, so was Kemper.
Oh, yeah. He still is.
Well, he had a stroke, and he actually did have a... ever since the stroke, he's been kind of acting out here and there.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's his... I think that's the stroke causing it.
Who knows? He
was already a horrible person, but, So, commissioners still denied parole. In 2018, the board again denied the release on parole. His next hearing was scheduled for May 2020, but, the pandemic has delayed it until further notice.
Darn.
Oh, darn.
All right.
Yeah, hope he should rot. Yep. Let crows peck his eyes out. Everybody Wing Chun tonight. Oh, we ain't done. We are not done.
Oh, I know we're not done. Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol, how are you? So, okay. The facility that I can't pronounce has got to be a Native American word because everything around here is named after Native American words.
Yeah.
I am not joking when I can't pronounce this, by the way. I legit cannot pronounce this. I'm really having trouble. It's also because every time it's written, there's a squiggly under it. And I can't quite tell if that's like a Q or an A or like what that is or a G. In fact, guys, I will do this. This is what I'm looking at. Beep. It's a G! Shawangunk.
Spammed all the pages right there.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I hate everybody watching this. All of you. On all pages.
See? He culturally appropriated that word right there.
Yeah, because I'm such a bigot according to some people. Fuckers. Anyhow, other activities. So in 2002, during the DC sniper attacks, Berkowitz wrote a letter telling the sniper, you can't make this shit up. Berkowitz wrote a letter telling the sniper to stop hurting innocent people.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you can't make this shit up. Berkowitz made his comments in a 3-page letter to Rita Cosby, senior Chicago correspondent for Fox News Channel, after Cosby wrote to him seeking his comment on the sniper attacks. What? Why?
That's what they do.
Hey, Berkowitz, what's up? How do you feel about these sniper attacks?
Well, I mean,
He should stop hurting innocent people. Well, I mean, it's not like he's going to be like...
serial killers who are in prison now do have some celebrity status. I mean, look what we're doing right now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So,
when and I don't consider him a serial killer, but when Charles Manson was dying here down the street, I was like, let's go drive by. So, yeah, right? What a tool.
yep.
Hello. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce your name, but hello. Hi Lacey.
Hey, Lacey.
How are you? Oh, we are good, thank you. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I love that I could see your pretty face on your new profile picture. All right, so during June of 2005, Berkowitz sued one of his previous lawyers for the misappropriation of a large number of letters, photographs, and other personal possessions. Hugo Harmatz, a New Jersey attorney, had represented Berkowitz in an earlier legal effort to prevent the National Enquirer from buying one of his letters. Harmatz then self-published his own collection of letters and memorabilia called Dear David, which he had obtained from Berkowitz during their consultations.
Just little like things he gave to Tim, or
Yeah, it was stuff that he was trying to keep from being published, and then he would turn around and publish it himself.
Well,
I guess Berkowitz did have a case here. Berkowitz stated that he would drop the lawsuit only if the attorney signed over all the money he made to the victims' families. In October 2006, Berkowitz and Harmatz settled out of court, and Harmatz agreed to return the disputed items and to donate part of his book profits to the New York State Crime Victims Board. That's not what he said, though.
mm-hmm.
Don't! So, satanic cult accomplice claims. In 1979, Berkowitz mailed a book about witchcraft to police in North Dakota. He had underlined several passages and written a few marginal notes, including the phrase Arliss Perry, hunted, stalked, and slain. Followed to California, Stanford University. The reference was Arliss Perry, a 19-year-old North Dakota newlywed who had been murdered at Stanford on October 12, 1974. Her death and the notorious abuse of her corpse in a chapel on campus was a widely reported case. Berkowitz mentioned the Perry attack in other letters, suggesting that he knew details from the perpetrator himself. Local police investigators interviewed him, but they now believe he was nothing of value to offer. And the Arliss Perry case was actually solved in 2018.
Huh.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. So, after his admission to Sullivan Prison, Berkowitz began to claim that he had joined a satanic cult in the spring of 1975. In 1993, Berkowitz made these claims known when he announced to the press that he had killed only 3 of the Son of Sam victims, Donna Loria, Alexander Esau, and Valentina Suriani. In his revised version of the events, Berkowitz said that other shooters were involved and that he fired the gun only in the first attack, Loria and Valenti, and the 6th, Esau and Suriani. He said that he and several other cult members were involved in every incident by planning the events, providing early surveillance of the victims, and acting as lookouts and drivers at the crime scene. Berkowitz stated that he could not divulge the names of most of his accomplices without putting his family directly at risk. Among Berkowitz's alleged unnamed associates was a female cult member who he claims fired the gun at Denaro and Keenan, both of whom survived. Berkowitz said because the alleged accomplice was unfamiliar with the power of recoil of the .44 Bulldog, Berkowitz declared that at least 5 cult members were at the scene of the Freund deal shooting, but the actual shooter was a prominent cult associate who had been brought in from outside New York with an unspecified motive, a cult member whom he identified only by his nickname, Manson II.
What the hell?
Another unnamed person was the gunman in the Moskowitz Violante case, a male cult member who had arrived from North Dakota for the occasion, also without explanation. Berkowitz did name 2 of the cult members, John and Michael Carr. The 2 men were sons of the dog owner Sam Carr. They lived on nearby Warburton Avenue. Both of these other sons of Sam were long dead. John Carr had been killed in a shooting judged a suicide in North Dakota during 78, and Michael Carr had been in a fatal car accident in 79. Berkowitz claimed that the perpetrator of the Demacy and Lomino shooting was John Carr, and he added that a Yonkers police officer, also a cult member, was involved in this crime. He claimed that Michael Carr fired the shots at Lupo and Placido. Author Maurice Terry wrote that Michael Carr was a very active Scientologist who had traveled to Scientology Mecca in Clearwater, Florida. According to Terry, at the time of Berkowitz's arrest, he was in possession of a list of telephone numbers, including the number of Scientology's Fort Harrison Hotel facility in Clearwater. Case reopened. Journalist John Hockenberry asserted that even apart from the satanic claims, many officials doubted a single shooter theory, writing, "What most don't know about the Son of Sam case is that from the beginning, not everyone bought the idea that Berkowitz acted alone." John Santucci, Queens District Attorney at the time of the killings, and police investigator Mike Novotny both expressed their convictions that Berkowitz had accomplices. And going off of a lot of the descriptions, they did change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, oh, he colored his hair.
Yeah.
Because there were blondes, but the blonde was much taller than Berkowitz.
Yeah.
And then they had straight hair and it was blonde.
Mm-hmm.
And then Berkowitz is kind of like stubby a little bit from what I can see of him.
Yeah.
He's a little stubby and like chubby and has curly dark hair and very prominent features. And then the blonde people the blonde guy that they were describing, and then there was another blonde that didn't fit the description of the first blonde that they described. So it does reason to say, like, there is good reason.
There's something to look into there.
That they could be onto something. And he just went down and has kept his trap shut.
Pretty much.
You know?
Who was it? Which duo was it that went to jail and like was it the Toolbox Killers? No. I can't think of which one it was, but one of them still to this day won't talk about it.
Yeah.
I think it was one of Dean Corell's crew.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, good night, Lacey. Have a good one. So, let's see. Here we go. It's actually getting into it. So, NYPD officer Richard Johnson, involved in the original investigations, opened that unresolved discrepancies in statements from witnesses and surviving victims indicate that Berkowitz did not, in fact, act alone. Why are there 3 suspect cars, 5 different suspect descriptions, different heights, different shapes, different sizes of the perpetrator? Somebody else was there. Other contemporaries voiced their belief in the satanic cult theory, including Donna Loria's father and Carl Denaro, who stated his opinion that more than one person was involved, but admitted that he could not prove the cult theory. Denaro's conclusion rests on his criticism of Berkowitz's statement to the police as totally false. John Deal's recollection is that he physically bumped into Berkowitz outside of Wine Gallery restaurant as he and Christine Frund departed and walked to his car where the shooting occurred. So Berkowitz, in contrast, told the police that he had passed within a few feet of Deal and Frund shortly before they entered the car. Deal contends that he and Frund passed no one on the way to the car, and further that the placement of the car parked at the curb would have made it impossible for Berkowitz to have snuck up on them in a few minutes between their encounter outside the restaurant and the shooting at the car. Deal thus reasons that he was shot by someone other than Berkowitz. So Hockenberry's report was given much exposure by Dateline NBC in 2004. He discussed journalist Maury Terry, who began investigating the Son of Sam shootings before Berkowitz was arrested. Terry published a series of investigative articles in the Gannett newspapers in 1979, which challenged the official explanation of a lone gunman. Vigorously denied by police at the time, Terry's articles were widely read and discussed. They were later assembled in book form as The Ultimate Evil in 1987, and the expanded edition came out in 1999. And this largely implied, it was largely implied by these reports of accomplices and satanic cult activity. The Son of Sam case was reopened because of this.
Wow.
By Yonkers police in 1996. But no new charges were ever filed. Due to the lack of findings, the investigation was eventually suspended but still remains open. From prison, Berkowitz continued to assert and expand upon his claims of demonic possession. He stated in a series of 9 videos in 2015 that the voice that he heard was that of Samhain.
What the fuck?
Samhain.
Yeah.
It says Sam Hain.
Sam Hain, yeah.
But Samhain. He's trying to say Sam was Sam
Danzig
Hain.
this whole time.
It was, God damn it, Danzig. What are you doing? He's all,
whoa!
Twistacano. Hey, Taco Bueno.
Hey, Taco Bueno.
You know you've ruined that, right? I don't even remember the real lyrics. All I hear is Taco Bueno.
Twisted Cane, that song's awesome. Hi, Stephen P. Kitty Cat.
Hey! I'm hoping to go to sleep soon.
Yeah.
So the voice was Sam Hain, a druid devil and the true son of Sam. He added that it was never a dog, saying that the detail was fabricated by the media. No, he said it. Berkowitz later claims were dismissed by many. Newspaper columnist Jimmy Breslin rejected his story of satanic cult accomplices, stating that when they talked to David Berkowitz that night, he recalled everything step by step by step. The guy was 1,000% or has 1,000% recall, and that's it. He's the guy, and there's nothing else to look at. Skeptics include former FBI profiler John E. Douglas, who spent hours interviewing Berkowitz. He stated that he was convicted. Berkowitz acted alone and he's an introverted loner, not capable of being involved in a group activity like that. NYPD psychologist Dr. Harvey Schlossberg stated in Against the Law, a documentary about Son of Sam's case, that he believes that the satanic cult claims are nothing but a fantasy concocted by Berkowitz to absolve himself of the crimes. In his book, Hunting Humans, Elliot Layton argued that recent journalistic attempts to abridge or even deny Berkowitz's guilt lack all credibility. And we just had a glitch. There we go.
Yeah, I think we got to clear up some memory up here.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? Everything's totally glitching out. And this
that was
is
the end of it anyway.
This is pretty much the end of it.
Yep.
So No biggie. Okay.
All right, well, let's just go ahead and close that out.
Hey, Darth Maul.
Hey, Darth Maul.
You're Darth Maul, apparently.
Wounded.
I'm okay with that.
No.
No. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we are back, guys. We are back. So stay tuned. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Bless you. That's fine.
Bless
Thank
you.
I appreciate it.
Nominis Padres.
Stop.
I don't know.
And so yeah, we're back. And so stay tuned for more shows coming up here. This is going to be fun. I will be updating our website shortly. And, I actually did want to mention something. We have put up a GoFundMe on our websites. So psychobunnydc.com, psychomantium13.com. I will be putting it up on rootsbleedred.com as well. A friend of mine is battling cancer. She is fighting her ass off for her life right now. And insurance kind of did what insurance does and decided, well, you know what? I know we already approved all that shit, but we're going with somebody else now. So we want you to get a new primary. We want you to get all this stuff. So right now she is paying out of pocket for chemo, hydration, and I don't pretend to know everything that goes on with cancer treatment, but there's a lot more than chemo involved. But if you guys want, feel free to drop on by over there. And if you want to donate, cool. You don't have to, but I'd love if you guys could share it. Okay. Anywho, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
All right.
And we will be back.
Where's the outro?
And we're going to go.
No.
What? That one?
Yes, there you go.
Bye.
Bye.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.